definitely a difference between the history of the institution, which is the International Society for Quality of Life Studies, and the history of quality of life research. We realized that a lot of scholars out there were doing quality of life research but didn't have a home. So we felt motivated to develop an institution, develop an association, a professional association, that quality of life researchers would call it their home, so to speak. In terms of recruiting people, our first task was to attend a conference that was organized by the International Sociological Association, which was organized by Professor Alex Mikolos at the University of Northern British Columbia. So I went to this conference, I met with Professor Mikolos, and in that context we realized that many of the sociologists and public policy people, as well as philosophers and urban planning economists and so forth, were attending that conference. And so we addressed the idea of developing our own institution. And a lot of, we realized there was a lot of interest from the people who were attending that conference. And in that context, Professor Mikolos and I were able to recruit people that created the board of directors, essentially the pillar, the legal foundational pillar of the society. One of the things that we try to do in ISQOLS is that we try to recruit presidents who are very prominent in the quality of life research movement. Josh Shomley, back in 1995, 1996, was the first president. The second president was Ed Diener. Ed Diener, again, was the prominent figure in the research dealing with subjective well-being, and that was 1997 to 1999. Then Alex Mikolos, who literally we can call him the founding father of the entire discipline. He became president from 1999 to 2000. He was followed by Ken Land, who was a sociologist from Duke University. He was followed by Wolfgang Glatzer, again a sociologist, 2003 to 2004. Then we had Richard Estes from the University of Pennsylvania in the United States, took over as president in 2005 to 2006. Valerie Moeller, who also is from South Africa, took over 2007 to 2008. Bob Cummings, who was a psychologist from Australia at Deakin University, 2009 to 2010. And then we have Heinz Herbert Knoll, 2011 to 2012. Philomena Magino, a social statistician, took over from 2012 to 2013. Rhonda Phillips, 2014 to 2016. Then we had Mariano Rojas. Mariano Rojas is an economist. In economics, there was a movement which is called happiness economics, and he was, again, one of the prominent figures in this movement. In 2017 to 2018, Ming Chang Tsai, Taiwan, took over 2019 to 2020, followed by Carol Graham, who's also a happiness economist, 2021 to 2022, followed by another economist, Martijn Berger from Erasmus University, again 2023 to 2024. Stephanie Russo is the president, and again we're looking forward to quite a bit of what we call magnanimous leadership from her presidency. Most of us are academicians, and as academics, we're very much our bread and butter, so to speak, is to be able to engage and conduct research and to be able to publish this research in reputable journals. 2011, we established what you might call a flagship journal, which is called ISQOL. ISQOL stands for Applied Research in Quality of Life. We took turns in terms of editing this journal, myself and Richard Estes and Alex Mikolos. But then eventually we turned it over to Daniel Sheck, who is a professor at Hong Kong Polytechnic. And this was a milestone. Talk about milestone in our institutional development, because Daniel Sheck was able to, again, build opportunities and build the journal in such a way that now has a significant impact factor, meaning that it's being cited by other scholars and other journals in a way that is making the journal very prominent in this kind of research. It's gotten to be so popular to the point where it went from 4 issues a year to 6 issues because we had so many submissions. All our conferences are essentially a milestone. Every conference was a milestone. Way back, 1996, our first conference was in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the United States. Conferences are very important. They build networks. They allow people who are interested to develop scholarship, to create bridges, to be essentially engaged in research in teams. What makes it special, especially young scholars who come to those conferences and all of a sudden they become excited about this kind of research, excited to make friends and build collegiality and create bonds with other researchers who engage in that kind of research. And ultimately, they come to me and they would tell me, ISQOLS now is my professional home. That is the ultimate joy that I get from seeing people at those conferences.